Duncan, it's great to have you on the show today.
Thank
But
you.
first of all, let's talk a bit about the less obvious revenue streams, if you like, in football. Of course, we know merchandising, we know player transfers, etc. But you've been arranging exhibitions across the world. What are the other areas that are not as obvious to most investors?
Well, when we founded SoccerX 16 years ago, we had no idea that we'd be going across 5 continents. And we had no idea, to be honest with you, of how many people make a dollar from football. And we've got the shock of our life. I mean, everybody and anybody, from football technology to lawyers to bankers, as well as the normal people you would expect, like Adidas and Nike and so on. We had no idea that there was so much interaction, stadia, infrastructure, seats, grass, netting. I mean, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew.
And then coming to Africa now, you've done some exhibitions in Africa already. Give us a sense of the opportunities that are opening up for countries like Nigeria.
Well, first of all, we're so delighted that we're coming here to Lagos, and we've got a big announcement, press conference tomorrow to describe exactly the detail of that. But we will be in Lagos for the next 4 years. We were in Johannesburg for 3 years. And SoccerX is not just an exhibition, it's also an event. It's a social event, it's a spectacle, it's legends, it's a big conference with all the big names coming. And we think that Lagos is exactly right to hold a SoccerX event, which we'll be announcing tomorrow in September.
Yeah, but give us a sense of the opportunities that lie for, say, for instance, football clubs in Nigeria, for people who are grooming players, for instance.
Well, it touches every single aspect of football. So whether you're a football club and you want to meet Real Madrid, whether you are a scout who wants to talk to another scout about players, whether you're an agent and you want to do a transfer, we've had football clubs bought and sold at SoccerX. We have the television rights negotiated at SoccerX. And I'm pleased to say it's become, and our main event, the convention in Rio, has become the biggest meeting of B2B football interests in the world.
Let's talk a bit about the footballers, if you like. That's what I think captures the headlines a lot. The Didier Drogbas, the Samuel Eto'os signing multi-million naira or multi-million dollar contracts.
Yes.
And one gets a sense that player transfers is a big opportunity.
Player transfers is huge. I'd be interested to see how the financial fair play rules that are going to be adopted from UEFA affect those, and that's one of the topics we will be discussing here in Lagos in September. But at the moment, I do believe there is too much money being sucked out of the game by player transfers and player wages. And I think it's something that we have to address quite quickly, as you've seen, especially, for instance, in Europe with Rangers and Portsmouth both in trouble and Rangers going into administration. I think that that's something that we have to address, but not just in Europe. I think that in Africa, and in particular in Lagos, we can bring a lot of expertise on those particular subjects and player transfers to the table.
Now, Africa and Nigeria in particular is a growing economy. We're looking for opportunities to grow the middle class, etc. Talk to us about opportunities that can open up for the, if you like, not the very big people, the people who are trying to make a buck here and there.
Well, I think that we, as a company over the last, or as an event over the last 15 years, for instance, in Johannesburg, we have small and medium-sized companies that we did particular deals for, to make sure that everybody, because it's FIFA's way of doing things as well, that everybody should have a slice of the cake, no matter how rich or poor they may be. And therefore SoccerX will be for everyone, and we will ensure that that does happen.
Let's talk numbers now. I mean, put out a number out there. Billions of dollars are being made in football today. Give us a sense of the growth prospects, especially for a continent like Africa.
Well, I think that basically you're dealing with a religion here. Football is a religion. It's not a game. It's not a sport. It's a religion. People absolutely...
You have the underlying passion for the business.
Huge. And so, therefore, I think it's unlimited. The growth potential is unlimited. And I was delighted coming into Lagos Airport yesterday evening when it's the first airport I think I've been in my life where I could sit down and watch Manchester United versus Tottenham in the middle of the foyer. It was fabulous. And everybody was watching it with me. So, I mean, the growth potential here is unbounded.
I can agree with you totally there. The passion we see in Nigeria is absolutely amazing. Well, thank you so much, Duncan, for joining us on the show today. Duncan Revie is CEO of Socceres, giving us some thoughts on the business of football in the world and, of course, more specifically in Africa.